Okay, can you see as well? At least us here small and then the screen? I think you're hearing and seeing everything. Wonderful. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. Now I'm just gonna ask here for the audience to follow up with me. So 1 second. Let me just put them. Where is my? Okay. If I press. Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Can I have your attention to start? Okay. Where is this? How I am here. Okay, everything good. All right. So, thank you so much for joining us. And I think if someone eventually join, Francisco will help you at the at the interest. So hi, we are friends of Figma Lisbon here, which is me. Then we have Francisco that you probably met at the door. And then we have Gabriel, an amazing, talented here with amazing curls with us. And we now are the volunteers who organize things at Friends of Figma in Lisbon. So, wait, I'm sorry. I lose my mouse. Why? Okay. Okay, so you probably know Friends of Figma, but in case you don't, just for us to do our usual work, that we are a global community of designers, not only in Portugal, but as you can imagine, in the whole world, basically. And we also organize, it could be live streams online, but it could also be just meetups, just to chat, but sometimes we also do even workshops. And we are now divided in 3, which I'm going to explain. So here we have Lisbon, and then Porto, and then Coimbra, and we just suffer from a very fancy refresh of brand, so enjoy it. It was quite entertaining, and a huge thank you to Salome and Bruno on that, our 2 volunteers from Coimbra, because it really helped us a lot with the look and feel to respect all the brand. And as I was saying, we are across whatever you think. You just Google Friends of Figma and you see all the places that we have available there. And you can have all the fun there. And we are the only Friends of Figma community that do his own conference. We started this like 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so 2023. And then the next one will be this year in Coimbra, so maybe you can enjoy the trip there. And basically, we even have other Friends of Figma even considering to do also a replica, so it's quite cool for us. Of course, we do this with partners and friends, so this is our moment to thank all the friends and the partners that we have so far that help us to provide the space or even the speakers. So thank you all. And regarding friends, just a special thank to Nagarro, which provided us the spot. Maybe Hugo, you can share some words if you want about Nagarro. I think you'll explain better than me.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all for coming today. It's a pleasure to have you all here, and even everyone that is at home or maybe at their work, like at this moment, watching the Friends of Figma. So just to give you like just an introduction about Nagarro. So we are like a global leaders in digital transformation and building like digital solutions. It's a company with more than 25 years. With a presence in 40 countries and 18,000 people. So we help our clients through our fluidic intelligence framework, building these and running these digital solutions even now through like AI. We have our own accelerators that kind of help our clients move faster in this new digital era. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy like the event. I also want to thank you, Raquel, Nuno, and everyone that is part of the Friends of Figma to do like these sessions for the community. I believe it's great to share knowledge and even like try to help you learn more about like these new technologies. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the event.
I'm not sure at home if you heard, but we clapped, basically. Yeah, so a little bit about me. So besides enjoying to talk a lot and do events, and my work time full-time job, I'm a lead designer. I've been working with design operations and design systems in multiple areas for, I don't want to say how many years because I'm getting old, so I don't want to deal with that right now. But basically, I've been working in automotive, telecom, retail, fintech. So I've been having some fun in that sense. And maybe, Nono, you can present yourself.
Hello, I'm Nuno. I'm a senior design system at the moment at Malware, a security company. But I love design system. I like to suffer a little bit with this one. I'm working a design system 10 years, I can say it. My starting from the design system was like find and discover all the things. And now with AI that we all talking here, we'll see, okay, how can we improve? AI will not solve everything. We can start like this, okay? But yeah.
Cool. All right. Okay, so just so you can have an idea of the agenda and prepare yourselves to maybe have an overload of information, but this will be recorded so you can see with some time and rewind a bit, but we try to put it as much as dummy-proof as possible. And also take in consideration that today we are talking about this content in a certain way, but tomorrow could be completely different. Even just 2 hours ago, Claude just launched Claude Design. So this is a very fast environment. So the way that we are teaching things does not mean that it's the only right thing or the only way of doing things. So keep that in mind with this AI. We are just wanted to be humble that in case you see something that, oh, I didn't know about that way, or it's not exactly how I thought, it's perfectly normal. Okay, it's a very vague, a very big topic. So just at least enjoy what we
And you
know
will
so
see
far.
that we have different ways to work too. So
Yes.
this will
Yes.
happen.
Yes, diversity is also
Yeah.
a thing in AI. Okay, so I think everyone is a bit like this, at least when they open their LinkedIn, like even 2 hours ago, like, what the hell? Like, Cloud Design? What are you doing? Maybe you want to be Figma Make? Let's see. But eventually, I think everyone is panicking a bit with AI, and you just need to, give yourselves a break, all right? You will get there with time. And just a friendly reminder that at least we experts, me and Nuno, have this feeling that people feel like, oh, I cannot, follow up. AI will just take my job, and I don't know what to do with this. And just keep in mind that you're still the human, you're still in charge, all right? So be your friend in that sense. And the goal here is to make AI easier for you, all right? Not to be harder. And I think people are sometimes struggling and having a loop of 3 hours of making something work. And if it's taking 3 hours, maybe you should give up on that, So be friendly and humble with you and try to see that, okay, this is to help me, not to intimidate me or not to challenge my task. So just a friendly reminder, okay? Be humble with yourself. Okay, so we have a lot of information, right? A lot of topics, a lot of concepts. So where exactly we should start? So we should start with the basics, just to see if everyone is in the same page. So this is just a way of putting that you have you can see this in 3 levels of how you can work with design. Usually people start with this one. So automation in a way that you ask and he executes. So you send something and he returns you back. All right. And in this level, he really depends on you because he does not, AI tools does not do anything if you don't give him specific instructions. So you are quite in charge and he still depends a lot on you. Then you have this mode, this level, where eventually you provide some information with AI and you ask AI to brainstorm and work with you and to think with you. So usually people also easily translate, go with this one. But this one is the one that people are now, figuring out, like, oh, this agentic stuff and automation and yada yada, and putting a lot of steroids on the air. But basically is for you to configure things and is more autonomous. And this requires a big jump of knowledge for you to trust this level. So you need to be quite confident here. So then you'll be independent here. That's basically it. Not sure if you want to add something, Nuno, but I think that's basically it, right?
Basically,
Yeah.
is what we are doing.
Am I
So
Yeah.
I forget all is this. So I can say for my case, I'm in the middle of this one.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I also
so
feel like here.
this is a more how can I say, we have three different ways to do it, three different replies from the AI, and here we start to try to do the best information that AI can give us, but it's a lot of work, depends on the project, depends on the company, depends on a lot of factors.
Yeah, yeah. So if you want to go here, just keep in mind that it gives a lot of work, but eventually we'll
And it's a
be
teamwork, not only one.
yes. Yes.
Enjoying.
Cool. And then Figma make just trick me because I had here two two things, but eventually he deleted, so let's just ignore. But we put here some AI glossary, okay, so we can understand exactly some words, all right? So we have like, what is a token? Because people often confuse token with prompts. They think usually it's the same thing, but it's not. And basically token is the way that he represents the text and translates into units. So that's why you're probably seeing that joke on LinkedIn of the caveman. If you write like a caveman, like me wants this now, you will spare tokens. It's because you are using less words. So if you're a German and you talk a lot, you will spend a lot more token. But if you're a Chinese, quite get to the point, you will, spare some tokens. So basically, it's a token. He will translate the amount of words, and that's basically the logic there. And then the prompt is basically your instruction. Here we can do like a whole session about improvement, the prompt, best practice of the prompt. Like you shouldn't talk with your chat like, please, you're not doing what I want. Can you understand me better? Like it's not a person. You will spend a lot of tokens if you try to humanize. You need to be very specific as much as possible. And this is the part where people struggle a lot. At least me, I'm quite emotional. So I'm like, you're not doing what I want, please. And eventually I need to slow down, like, okay, you need to write a proper prompt. So be very technical and specific. So people here struggle a lot, but the
Enjoying.
better the prompts, better the results, and you eventually you will spare more tokens. So think of that, of trying to improve your prompts.
Try to think a lot
Yes.
and then write the right prompt.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also another tip for prompts, if you don't know how to prompt, you can ask AI to help you. Like, I have this situation, yada yada, I want to use this in cursor, blah blah blah. Help me build the prompt, and
Or
he
you
helps
can
you.
use a free account,
Yes.
do the prompt, and then go to the pay account to
Yes.
do all the things.
Yes. 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 It's a thing. It's a thing. I do it a lot.
An example.
Then the LLM, which you probably see those fights on LinkedIn, like, oh, Opus is quite better for biggest problems and yada yada, and then Sonnet from Claude is better for everyday and stuff like that. It's because they have, let's say, different personalities. Let's put it like that, and they were built for different purposes. All right, Claude has 3 at the moment, I believe: IQ, Sonnet, and Opus. I think they were launching.
Opus, no, they don't launch.
No, okay.
It was testing one, but it's too dangerous that they yeah,
Okay.
they
Okay.
stop at that one for now.
Okay. Eventually, Google has their own Gemini stuff. I don't know the names. And then the ChatGPT also have other names. And then you can search like, what is the best prompt for certain situations? I know, for instance, that I think from ChatGPT, OpenAI, the Codex, it's quite good for code stuff, for instance. So eventually you should search which LLM you want, or in case you're using Cursor, you can also use auto mode because he basically choose the best LLM for you. So it's a huge thing on Cursor, by the way. It's really cool. But for the other platforms that they don't decide, just try to understand which ones you want. And sometimes, by the way,
Enjoying it.
Complex LLM does not mean that he will provide you better results, and you can even actually spend a lot of tokens. So don't go like, oh, I'm going to go with the top one and he will provide me everything.
Like Opus.
Yes.
Opus consume a lot of tokens. A lot of tokens, yeah.
Yeah. He's quite angry with tokens, but that doesn't mean that he will provide you the best results, or with the other LLM you wouldn't do the same. So keep that in mind. Then we have the context window, which is basically when we talk with an agent, he will read the conversation, and the longer the conversation, the harder it is for you to keep up. Imagine like talking with someone old, like a grandma, and you talk with her at least for a while, and he was like, "When did we start this conversation?" Sometimes that happens also with LLM. So you need to be very quick, very short. Sometimes it's better to initiate other conversation than keeping up with the long one. So better
And you save
chats.
tokens.
Yeah, and you save tokens. Yeah,
You can do a summarize of your conversation, then start a new one.
Yeah.
Because you have all the content and start, and the tokens will be reduced.
yeah. Because every time that you're talking with him, he's like, okay, I'm going to read it. I'm going to respond. I'm going to read it. I'm going to respond. And when he reads, he's going to consume a lot. So keep the conversation simple and short. And this was also a huge thing for me to knew multiple chats instead of having just one conversation in one. It really changed a lot the way that the tokens were consumed. Then we have skills, which we're going to talk with more deep today. But basically is a file that eventually, in a very quick, just so you can have some glossary at the beginning, it's basically a file where you put some guidance and some instructions so he can understand better some rules that he has to consider when doing something for you. And we will explain a bit. And then the agent is basically when the capability of executing tasks. So when you're opening an agent and eventually you have the thing going. Then the MCP and the markdowns, he didn't put it, but basically MCP, I don't know by heart, model something.
I don't remember neither.
I don't know
Never
either,
remember,
but
yeah.
you have to trust us.
To connect the
Basically,
server.
this allows, it's like a translator. So for instance, Figma
The
MCP.
bridge.
Yeah, what?
It's a bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, so it allows basically to the
Enjoying it.
AI read better your content, basically understands better the language inside of it. So when we're using Figma MCP, he will understand better what do we mean by variables, components, specs, variants. So it's basically a translator. Okay,
Enjoying
that's why we have multiple MCPs. We just don't have Figma. We have Atlassian with Jira and Confluence. You have like whatever basically has a lot of data and can have like their own language. Eventually you can have MCP, so you have like a whole marketplace of MCPs.
And for example, on the we have a Figma MCP and we have the Figma console MCP.
Yeah.
To read from the same API, for example, connect to Figma, give the same instruction to Figma, but one can give more information than the other. For example, you can say that it's two different MCPs connect to the same API, to the same software. So you can do it like this one.
Yeah, so I think in a very short way, we can think it as a translator, basically. It can help you like that. And then we have the markdowns, which is basically files that we provide, which a skill can have a markdown type of file, but markdowns can have multiple needs. It could be a documentation file, it could be principles, it could be whatever you want, but it's basically to feed better your product. And eventually we will explain this a bit better at the beginning.
Enjoying it.
So this is the traditional, I think, what we are all used, right? You work on Figma, you have your design system in place, eventually start making some screens, right? On your daily basis on Figma. Then you eventually do the handoff with your developer, engineer, depending on the name that you use. And then you go to a code editor, and just keep in mind that Cursor is a code editor because people think it's an AI assistant, and it's not. It's a code editor with AI features in it. And you can also use VS Code with extension of Claude, for instance. So, but just to keep that in mind, that we go eventually the engineering goes to the code editor, do their job, right? Refactor,
Enjoying
do
it.
whatever they want with the code. And then eventually, once everything is done, it goes to a repo. So I put it GitHub because GitHub has a lot of integrations with Figma, but it could be GitLab, it could be Bitbucket, it could be Gitbucket, it could be something else. where on the Git we have the histories, we have the branches, version controls, yada yada. So basically where we have the code. With this AI
Enjoying
stuff, basically what we can have is that we have Figma, and then inside of Figma, which we will talk about this a bit, you can use Code Connect on your library, and we will explain why this is a very good thing. And then we have the code editor, which can have AI features, as I was mentioning, so Cursor or VS Code with extension of the Claude. And then eventually all of them can go back and forward using the MCP. It's what we recommend, but basically the way that was, it's non-linear anymore. It can have multiple things happening, and that's why the market is a bit crazy about all of this energy, because this opens a lot of workflows and processes and possibilities.
Now, can
basically.
we connect? This depends on the project, for example.
Yeah.
Raquel can do a thing different that's my workflow, for example, and it works. It pass on this information, pass to MCP, go to AI, give a product in the final, leave documentation in the final, create components, create auto layouts automatically. This kind of magic that we see on YouTube. Oh, it's easy.
enjoying
Ish.
Yes.
Ish. But
And of course we are promoting here Claude because it's an event dedicated to Figma with Claude because of the hype. But eventually Claude can do more than code, and we were going to show eventually that. But before all of this, we just wanted to prepare you a bit to code, because one of the things that I hear a lot is, especially with designers, like, oh, but I don't want to go to the terminal. That's like, I don't understand nothing about it. Or even if they don't use the terminal, they need to understand some dev concepts, and they'll be like, no. So before you do that,
another one.
enjoying
as you can see, there's a lot of glossary in this topic. So we have the Git, and basically Git is basically what allows us to have version control, and you will see a lot of Git in your life eventually when you start to do this AI things. But it basically allows you to have these commands that you interact with your code repository. So the repository is basically when you have the folders, think like that. It's just basically where you put all of your code in it. And then allows for us to do this, to register commits. So think of commit as a save history on Figma. It's basically saying, look, this morning I did this and that. And that's a commit. You basically tell what you're working on, doing what you're doing on the code. Push. So push, you basically push your code to the repository. So you send it to the repository. Pull, you pull something from the repository to your local version, right? Then clone. I think this one is simple. So you clone something, you clone a repository to start working on your own. And then we have a branch, which is quite similar to the concept of the Figma branches. So they didn't make that up. It's basically from the dev knowledge. So it's the same logic. And then we usually have a pull request, which can have one or more than branches, but basically is when you have the moment of review. So when you're reviewing the branch on Figma, it's basically that moment. And then you put like, look, on this pull request, I fixed the padding, I changed the colors, yada, yada. You explain, then you have people reviewing it. And then once everything is done, you merge. So you go back and send to the main file. So this one you should be more or less aware, because it's the same pattern on Figma, but eventually you will get there in the meantime. And then you have the terminal. So you'll probably see like CLI. It's basically the name that you gave for the interface of the terminals. That's it, all right? That's the meaning of this word. Then you have CD, which is basically, I don't know why, I cannot explain you why, but it's basically for you to start with CD, and then you put the direction of the folders on your terminal, like CD, desktop, my folder.
It's terminal language. CD, ls, mkd.
Yes, I don't know the story behind, but you just gotta trust me. It does this. Then you have the npm, which you're probably gonna see, which is basically Node Package Manager. So this is basically the language that you use to install the packages of the code. Okay. And then you use npm install, and I'm sharing this 3 because we usually use this 3, not exactly in this way. So you can have other ways to go to the local host, but this is the more common, I believe. You do npm install, and he does everything that he needs. Then you put ambient build, which you basically do a lot of things to process. And then you put npm run dev, and he will provide you a link, which is called localhost, where you can preview it. Like, that's where I see what I'm doing. Okay, it's here. It's on the local host, because people often do, but what I can see what I'm doing on the code. You need to do all of this to get a URL. Oh, but why? That's the way people do it. Eventually on Coursera, you also have the possibility of seeing better the visual editor
We'll
thing.
visit on the demo.
Yeah.
I'll show it.
Yes, so they are more friendly designer solutions, but never. I think it's good to know what this means in case you
You will
need
see
to.
that we'll do like a child this one. Okay?
Yes.
Oh, I'm a little child. How can I do this?
Yes.
Oh, it's here in localhost. Then next we'll do it like this.
Okay,
Enjoying-
so this
enjoying-
is the terminal. In case you don't know how to open the terminal, by the way, I'm gonna be realistic. I just put things for a Mac. Sorry for people that have Windows, but I was realistic that I think most of us are using Mac. So if you use command space, you basically search for terminal, and you have your terminal. Because people are like, oh, I cannot find where the terminal is. Command space, terminal, and he will appear. Okay. Then eventually you need to have a GitHub account, and then you have to make the login on the terminal. So it's something exotic like this. You put all of these commands, and then you put your email, and then you put your username, and then your email. So you try this later eventually. And then you need to do something very like, and I'm not sure what is this, and I'm gonna break like the whole security of my computer, but you need to create a SSG, which is basically like a digital ID card to connect your computer with GitHub. So GitHub knows that it's you, basically, putting in a very simple way. And so you need to create this key, and then eventually these are the commands that you need to put. And don't be surprised that when you're putting here the password, you're not seeing any letters, and that's totally normal, all right? Don't freak out, like, I'm not seeing anything, this is not working. I cannot explain you why, but that's part of the experience. And then eventually he does the copy paste, and you don't know, but it does it silently. And once you go on GitHub and you go to this flow, you add this guy and you put it there, and eventually you have it. There's probably more different ways of creating this one, but I'm just showing the geeky ones so you can, give a flex like, oh no, I did it on the terminal. Okay, I got it. And then you have it here.
For example, on GitHub, you can create a token specifically that can be validated for 3 days, 16 days, whatever you need, and that is valid for you to use on something.
Yep.
It's another way to do it. But it's easy, but
yeah, so there's also multiple ways. I'm just showing you one, but there's like a bazillion ways of doing this.
Enjoying.
And then you need to do these things, because for people that never code before, it's probably giving you some errors in case you don't have these installed. So you need to have the developer tools install, and then you need to install Homebrew. You probably heard about this before, but it's basically a package that gives you a lot of essential stuff to work. Why, I cannot explain it, but we're gonna trust the internet. And then eventually you're gonna also have to install Git itself on a terminal.
Enjoying.
Okay, so all of this homework is done. You're now prepared to do stuff. And let's see what each tool does. So just a reminder, I think you all know Figma, right? But just in case you don't know it, or you don't know all the features so far, I just like to remind that small text in Figma does all of this now. I'm not sure if everybody knows it, but for instance, this one really gives a lot of it's really quite good for me, like the rewrite, translate, and shorten text in Figma slides. It's really good in context. And I've also did like make and edit images with Nano Banana. It's quite good, to be honest. And the remove background, we are all waiting that for years, right? So we now have finally that. But there are small things, but maybe instead of asking an AI to do it, maybe you can just put it on Figma. So I think it's nice to know. Then we have Figma Make. Figma Make, poor thing, I think he needs more love. He's not having the best the best year of his life, let's say it like that. So you can attach Figma designs with the prompts in it. People can you can have multiple people inside of the Figma Make to collaborate and send stuff as well. You can publish the prototypes and send it. You can also have Figma Make Kit with your design systems, but to be honest, this one is not easy at all.
It's only the variables and the styles. You
Yes.
don't get the components, for example. So
Yeah, but now actually they have a rollout at the end of March where you can implement the packages of your code, but it's still because it's really stubborn. So you need a lot of love and caring for that to work. All right, and then eventually this is a cool one, which you can have templates for your company. Let's say you have like a very common screens and you wanted to have as a starting base for people, you can do templates, which is quite cool. Then we have Code Connect and Figma MCP, which are more important for today. Basically, the Code Connect is something that most of you probably don't know in case you don't maintain a design system, but is a feature that inside of your components, we can link directly the corresponded code from the repository. So when the developer is on the dev mode, like when he's seeing the button, on the right panel side, he will see the specific code that he needs to copy. So it's basically trying to give a storybook experience, you know, having already the code in hand on the dev mode. And this is quite good also for the AI because he will recognize that when using the MCP. So the better the Code Connect that is implemented, all the connections of your components and design having a connection with your repository, the better also when using the Figma MCP, because you will have a more connection of, oh, this button is related to that code. Okay, and he doesn't need to waste a bunch of tokens and a bunch of logic behind for that. So quite important there. And of course, in case you don't use AI just on a daily basis, the developer have the code in hand, so it's quite good in that sense. And then the Figma MCP, which is basically, as we were explaining, the translator, it basically will give a direct link to the Figma files and the components, and he can read the variables, how the component is structured, the layout. He can read everything basically. Not everything, depends, but eventually we will get there. And then eventually, when you're more excited with the agent stuff, he can also be a key role on the process and the flows, all right? So, Code Connect. This is basically the reason why we would advise to use Code Connect, because without the Code Connects, eventually he will just see that, okay, that's a button, and I recognize that it's a button with this color and has this paddings and stuff like that, but he doesn't have the real connection with the code. So he will eventually read better the prop names, the real component basically. So
imagine if you have Code Connect, you can create layouts using AI because they identified the code. So he's not creating the button, he's not creating the component based on the UI. He's okay, this UI exists on this repo, so I will bring that information and try to create it. So it's a big advantage when you can do a vibe coding, but with your real design system. Okay?
Maybe you can put the micro.
I always forget. Okay, that's right.
No problem. So this, in the long term, what it means that you and your engineer will spend less time, you know, doing QA, like, oh, this is not exactly how it is. Maybe you can correct this, correct that. So it can spare you some time on the QA stuff, and eventually gives you more quality when using AI, basically.
enjoying.
Okay, Figma MCP. So as we were explaining that without the Figma MCP, as we were saying, for instance, he will read with more difficulty, because with the Figma MCP, can basically, instead of depending on the screenshot or something like that, he will, no, I understand that you have an auto layout and you're using this components there, that we have this content. Without it, which is more people have this pain, especially when it's not approved internally, that he will only read the image and he will guess what is reading on the image. He will eat all of your tokens basically, and he will not even do similar to what you were hoping. So you will basically read as you want the Figma file, basically. And he can access all of this, the layout, the spacing, and whatever. What he cannot do, and eventually you can do this on other ways that we can show you today, he won't have the information of the design intent. Even that he reads the whole component, he will not understand how to use that component or how eventually the strategy behind your screen. All right, so you need to provide that information later. And then eventually it's more aligned. So Figma MCP, it's really important in that sense. And then in case you want to do Figma plugins, you need to eventually, I would recommend to study the Figma API, which is basically the documentation that allow us to do more inside of internal features of Figma. Let's put it like that. Maybe I'm not explaining the best way, but eventually allows developers, and now us, to interact with Figma design files, and you can do
and some text, how they write the information in the UI, in the canvas one, for example. If you want to detect the color of the frame, you can go with API, detect all of these elements, for example, and more connections. Okay?
Yeah.
The variables, read the values, transform the values in tokens, in JSON, in SAS, whatever, this kind of information you can read directly.
Yeah, I see it as like a dictionary of multiple functions that Figma can have. For instance, I did a plugin recently that the plugin was to help us to swap libraries, because Figma only allows to swap when they have the exact name. And we found out a function of reconnect detached components, and we were like, oh, this is cool. So now the plugin allows that. You have the detached components, we basically select them all, and we can choose for this detached, use this component and this component and this component, and he go back and do and become an instance again. So this we found out because we read the Figma API. So keep that in mind. I know it's really nerdy, like, oh, it's a lot of documentation, but it's good, especially for plugins. And eventually we have an extra regarding the Figma console MCP, which people mixed up, like, oh, is that a Figma thing? Is not official, yada yada, what's the difference? But it's quite used, especially on the design system world. It was made, it's an open source server by Southwest. So you're probably here, especially in your more into design systems, regarding that, and maybe you can share your experience.
Yeah, this was developed by PJ Pride. PJ Pride, and normally it can read more information that the normal Figma MCP does. So kind of imagine, I'm trying to remember, creating in the beginning, creating information on a button, on a card, okay? It can give more information and read that information too. So it's a more complex one. It use API from Figma, like Raquel say, the hidden informations that Figma are not giving to us on the Figma MCP. Again, someone or some company lose some time and give us more of this one. So you can try, you can also use the both, the Figma MCP and the Figma MCP. Imagine on cursor, for example, you can activate it too, and you do ask the things, and you see, oh, why I'm using now the Figma or the Figma console. Oh, I don't have this information on this MCP. I'm gonna use this one. Yeah.
So keep in
This
mind
is
that
a
it will
lot of things,
also.
so-
Yeah. Okay. Keep in mind that it will also consume more tokens, though, because it's more
Yeah,
accept, but it
of
will
course.
also consume more tokens. But it's basically an evolution, like an upgrade. Let's do it like that. But it's quite cool. Cool. Let's now go to Claude. So, in case you don't know, and then actually don't give me a tip that when you don't have more tokens, Claude Chat still works. So that was quite useful for me to learn.
Now it works.
Yes.
You are on Claude Code and say, oh, now you have to wait
5 hours. At least with a pro account, you need to
You go
wait 5 hours.
Close chat. it was.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. So we have 3 modes that you can have on Claude. You have the chat, which is basically the chatbot experience. And inside of chat, you also can create artifacts, which is like documents, like PowerPoints, Google Docs, yada, yada. He has more integrations with Google, but now he also has with Excel and PowerPoint. So I guess all the Excel geeks will be very happy with that. And you can also have projects, and inside of projects, you can also use projects in Claude Chat and projects on Cowork. I'm not sure if they share things, but I don't think. I think they're individual. Maybe the audience can also give a heads up in case it's not. But basically, on the Cowork, it's helping you to do more tasks. Like, and I try to cliches like rename all of my photos here one by one with this content, say yada yada, and he does that. It's a little creepy at the beginning, like, oh, he's actually changing stuff on my computer and I'm just watching. Okay. Also, he can do, it's not on beta. If you install it on Google Chrome, like he can write you emails and stuff like that. No biggie. Like you can just talk with people, man, you know, just in case. So keep in mind what you're asking before sending the prompt, but it's really powerful. I've used a lot, like to create slide. It's an amazing partner in slides. To switch? Okay. Sorry, this improv break. Technology, AI didn't solve this yet. Okay, so as I was saying, you can have projects here on Claude Chat and also on Code and Cowork, and Cowork does a bunch of things. And then eventually you use Claude for code. You can use it on a terminal, but you also have the interface on the Claude app, which is less intimidating. We did a demos with both, with terminal and then with the Claude Code app. So eventually you'll see the both working. But just to show you that Claude is not, it's not even a code editor, and it does a lot of these things, not just code. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, I just need my mouse again. Here. Okay, so you probably saw this, and in case you don't, basically the markdown, as we were explaining at the beginning. Inside of Claude, you have CLAUDE.md, which is basically a configuration that you can put inside of your repository, and it's a configuration file, all right? And you can put all the standards and rules and conventions about your project there. So people often start with the CLAUDE.md when they don't get excited with the markdowns. So you start with this one. But eventually it needs a lot of your input, right? So this only does miracles and work if you actually feed it with the right information. So eventually put there some team rules of, for instance, how to code, or best practice of reviewing each other or something like that. It could be bazillion things. You can put like conventions, constraints, and priorities inside of it, but think of this as a technical documentation if you put it like that. And then also, and to be honest, I haven't used anything, but as I was promoting Figma API, you also have the Claude API. Maybe in the future we will use a lot more of the Claude API, but in the same logic, it has multiple things there that you can use later to, I don't know, maybe get excited and build your own MCP on your company, who knows? And
Plugins,
so,
for example.
yeah. So we also recommend for you to study a bit of the Claude API, because it might found wonders that nobody has yet found. And so eventually, to use it on the terminal, you need to install it, the Claude. And so this is basically the command, again for Mac, that you use for install the Claude Code, and eventually have your video that you can, that will show you. Of course, I didn't have the sound that I was working. Okay.
Claude Code is simple to install, whether you want to use it in your terminal, lab, or your IDE. If you're on Mac OS, Linux, or WSL, use this curl command to install it in one go. If you prefer to use Homebrew, you can also use brew install to install it, but note that this doesn't have auto update capabilities. For Windows, there's also a couple ways. In PowerShell, use the invoke rest method command. If you're on CMD, you can also use this curl command. We also have a winget command as well if you prefer, but just like Homebrew, it won't auto update. Now go to your project directory and run Claude. You will go through some initial instructions like choosing your color theme and signing in with your Claude account, which could be the Pro, Max, or Enterprise. Or you can use an API key. If your organization has a Claude Enterprise account, be sure to select that option. Whatever directory you decide to run Claude in, it will have access to that directory and all of its subfolders. In Visual Studio Code, open up your extensions panel and search for Claude Code. You will see the extension by Anthropic. Make sure it has the blue check and hit install. After installation, you might need to restart VS Code. After that, you can open up the control palette with Control or Command and Shift and P and search Claude Code. Open a new tab. You can also click on the Claude logo if you see it when a file is open. You can also opt out of the UI and just use the terminal experience directly in your settings file. For JetBrains IDEs, you can install the Claude Code plugin from the JetBrains marketplace. Once you install, restart your IDE. And when you reopen, you'll see the Claude logo. This will open up a pane where you can see the terminal experience. And this will work alongside you. On Claude Desktop, you can also run Claude Code. After you install Claude Desktop and signed in, you will see a toggle at the top that says Code. The look and feel is similar to Claude Chat side of things, but allows you to work in a specific folder, change permissions, and even work in a cloud environment. On the web, you can access Claude Code by going to claude.ai/code. This works very similar to the desktop app. However, you're restricted to GitHub repositories only. If you want to constantly keep up to date with everything, the terminal is the best bet. Features ship there the fastest. For the most part, you'll have extremely similar experiences with the IDE integrations if you like Claude Code to feel more intertwined with your favorite code editor. Desktop is great for letting Claude run in the background while you run other tasks. Claude Code on the web is a great option if you want to remotely work on a project through a GitHub repository or have multiple sessions work in parallel. However you want to use Claude Code, it's up to you.
All right, and that's just to show a new interface that Claude just launched. All right, so this is an interface. I think they just launched it like this week, so they're quite excited sharing stuff. And now, as Renato was saying, we are going to show as well Claude design. So,
Enjoying.
Just gonna put it here.
Enjoying.
Here. This is a very big television, sorry.
Enjoying.
Okay, so this was the one that we were talking about that was launched like 2 hours ago. And so we thought, I must put a slide, of course. So we talk about it. So later we can see how it goes. In the meantime, let's just continue and see in a more geeky way. Then to use the Figma MCP, you need to install it. So eventually you need to do a bunch of these techie stuff to install it. And then I also have a video to show you how to install it from Figma. So let's go and see it. Hope you don't die on me again.
Enjoying.
Okay.
Figma's MCP server brings Figma directly into your development workflow, giving AI agents access to the structured design context needed to generate accurate, design-informed code. In this video, we'll walk you through how to set up the remote Figma MCP server in these development tools. For a complete list of supported agents, check out our Guide to the Figma MCP Server article to learn more. Be sure to install the development tools on your computer before setup, and feel free to jump ahead to the tool you plan to use. Let's start with Claude Code. The recommended way to set up the Figma MCP server in Claude Code is by installing the Figma plugin, which includes MCP server settings as well as agent skills for common workflows. To set up the Figma MCP server in Claude Code, open your terminal and run the following command, which you can find in our Help Center. Press Enter to start the installation process. Then restart Claude Code if it was running. Type /plugin and press the Enter key to open the plugin marketplace. Use the right arrow key on your keyboard to navigate to the Installed tab. Use the arrow key to navigate to the Figma MCP server and press Enter. Press Enter again to begin the authentication process. Click Allow Access to authenticate and allow Claude Code to access your Figma account. After you finish authentication, return to the terminal and use the /plugin command to head to the plugin marketplace again. Under the Installed tab, the Figma plugin is enabled, and the Figma should now display as connected, and you're ready to start prompting in Claude Code. Now, let's set up Cursor. Like Claude Code, we recommend setting up the Figma MCP server.
We don't need the rest because we're gonna focus on Claude today, but eventually you can see the video later.
So now we have some demos that were recorded, but let's see how it goes during the day, where we have some examples of going Figma to Claude or Claude to Figma of some generic examples. And in the end, if you want, you can also ask us to do something, and we have some tokens that we didn't save up on the afternoon to give you, so we can do live sessions with you. So eventually you can ask for a specific use case at the end, here in person, but also at home, and we can try one or two. So this is a video that I tried to ask him to generate a new component and then eventually to generate documentation for me. So as you can see, I basically put here the CD folder /something, and then eventually I put Claude and he gave me the stuff. This is the component that I'm gonna ask him to do in the code, all right? And I show up the body here. And then I'm basically now writing my prompt, and I say, generate me a React component from this Figma button design as button 2, because I already have a button on the Git repository, so just to show you how it works. And then I provide them the Figma link. And here, keep in mind that I already have the Figma MCP installed, so I have everything pretty. So that's why we shared all the slides, because you need all of that for this to work, okay? Here, for instance, you will start to see some skills that are provided from the Figma MCP server, Figma skills, and this one is using Figma implement design. And we going to explain a bit what those skills are and what they do. But as you can see, he's now doing some stuff. This is probably like 3 to 4 minutes, but I added a tries. One of them was like 10 minutes. So it really depends really on the prompt that you send. Because if you say like, oh, just generate stuff, he will go like, oh, I saw this library published, I'm gonna use this one. And I said, no. You need to create this component to this file from this specific library, for instance. So the more specific and obvious you are, the better is this result. So, and it can really happen that you can have specific prompts, but it doesn't, we cannot guarantee you that I give you like the ultimate prompt today and it will work for you, because it might not be. So it really depends on a lot of things, right? He's doing a lot of things he's doing here, and he's giving how much time he's spending. And then, regarding UX writing, I think is cute. Sometimes he is using some random words here. And then he's saying how much tokens he's using here and how much time he used for thought. And then he gives this tip that in case I wanted to do some side question, I never done it just in case I don't want to, mess up stuff, but you can try it. And he created, so he created a 2-button component. This is the code, all right? And eventually he's following everything that I have on Figma, like the priorities, the properties, like the size, the variants. He's giving me all the tokens that he consumed there, the key decisions that he did it. So he did everything for me in that sense. And now,
And just one thing,
what?
here normally see some information here, okay? And that bar you can customize. You can see, tell me my usage of tokens. It will say to you what is the usage of
That's a
token,
good tip.
the folder, a lot of information that Claude Code show there. You can customize and see the information that you want, so you can do it.
So here is the result of the code. He's using the variables that he read from Figma. So again, you need to have all the fancy Figma, all pretty and clean. Otherwise, the result of this won't go well, all right? So you need to be realistic with that. But he did all the job. And now I asked him to do like an end-off guidance to put it on Figma and do like a kind of an end-off documentation kind of thing. And so he is now reading the file of the button. Oh, sorry. First, my bad. First, I just asked him to do like a technical end off in writing here, and he's giving me everything that I need to know regarding, tokens and stuff. And I said, okay, this is cool. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna put it this pretty on Figma as a documentation stuff. So that's my next step. But as you can see, he can give you everything. Like whatever you want to ask, he might find it. So it opens a lot of possibilities if you think about it. Like, how many components do I have that are using this token? He can give you that answer. You don't need to do it by hand. So, okay, yeah. So this is the part where he's putting the technical documentation, and he's putting, he's showing what he did, and this is the results. And I thought, okay, cool. But he was having some bugs. You see, like, I cannot read the text. So he probably had some bugs in it. And I thought, okay, but I don't want to do like that by hand because it's a lot of things that I need to fix the height. So I just asked him to do it because it was probably some bug. So I just said like, look, can you just correct the auto layout because it's now fixed on 1 pixel of height. So you just put the HUD content. And he said like, yeah, okay. And he just did it like super fast. And as you can see, now it's all pretty and clean. And there you go, you have a fancy documentation stuff. And I just did this like a very simple prompt. If I would go like, please make the do's and don'ts based on this information, based on whatever. So as you can see, as you get excited, the more you feed it, the better the results, because I just give it one prompt and I didn't ask much. Then I put the cliche because people are doing like, oh, I haven't used Figma for more than a month. I don't use Figma anymore. I just use Claude. So I brought a demo to see eventually how people do that. And keep in mind that for people who are doing that, they have a very solid design system and they probably have very small teams, all right? Because for you to ask Claude to generate a screen, you need to think all the information that he has to have on code. You need to have pattern documentation, how many type of layouts that you usually have on your company. All the tokens need to have pixel perfect. All the code needs to be functional and clean. But usually people are now doing this, that instead of going on Figma to brainstorm and such, they try it out and ask Claude first to do something. So here, I'm gonna ask him to do like a pricing card screen, and I was very generic because I was saying, I just asked him for a product pricing card screen. I didn't give any information, just to put it how generic it was, all right? And then I said, use the simple design system components, which is the design system that we are using for the demo. They also have the Figma and the GitHub, by the way, in case you want to try it out. And then eventually he's physically learning, as you can see. Okay, let me explore the repository to see what we have here. And then this is the man that you're probably going to suffer a lot on Claude Code, like saying yes, 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 yes. Once you have that, you live that like, oh, okay, I'm that person now, saying yes, 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 yes. So you will get there eventually. Yeah, then eventually, sure, you do whatever you want. Sometimes I just put yes and I have no clue what she's doing, but I'm going to trust it. So that's why it's good to know some technical terms like run and npm build, like, okay, he's figuring out something for me to do. So I'm going to trust it.
I'm going to take your money, yes.
Yes, yeah. So that's why it's good, like you don't need to understand, but it's good just to recognize some words like, okay, maybe that's the right word. No, that's normal. People do a bunch of that. And for words you have no clue, just ask for another. What the hell is this? I have no clue. And we'll explain. So as you can see, keep in mind, I didn't give him any Figma screen. I'm asking directly to read the code repository and create a screen from scratch. No Figma, okay? So keep that in mind from the results, because that's usually some people are working now. Me and Nuno are not that optimistic because I think we work in big companies and a lot of dependencies and complications, but for smaller startup stuff, this is the usual thing. We had an event yesterday and Pedro was saying that he hasn't been on Figma like months because this, it's a more smaller team that he's working, just a solo guy, and he does everything with Claude. He doesn't touch Figma whatsoever. So this is also a thing now. But I wouldn't trust 100%. See, like a little red and like, whatever, just go. I don't know. Should be fine. Yeah, okay. Okay, and then he explained it to me that he created this screen inside of examples because on the repository, he already had a folder for examples. So he assumed, okay, I'm going to add another example there. I didn't give any expression. He just did it by his own. And eventually, if you use cat something, it's just to show the code. It's a very weird shortcut, but I remember because I have 3 cats, so I just remember this one. So if you put cat and then you put like the source, he will show you the code. And this is just to show you what exactly he did. So as you can see, he created my page all by himself, just reading the code. And now I'm going to show you doing the local host, how it looks like. So let's see it. So npm install, cd desktop, npm install, npm run dev, localhost. That's the magic URL. And then you use it, and voila. This is how he interpreted my prompt of pricing card view. But as you can see, it's not yet 100%. Like this is a cute bug. Like, did I touch? And then it's just buttons. And then here, it appears that ship there. But you have to consider that this is just one prompt, and it was a very, very vague prompt. I didn't give like put 3 cards in it, consume this context, consume this and that. I just put it like 3-4 words, and he gave me this. Why? Because the code is well-feeded and well-structured. All right, if you try that, maybe on your company, it won't go that well, most likely. And so now I said, okay, but that's a cute thing, but I want to change something because I want to put more cards. I want to do more stuff. So this is also a buzz thing, which is sending back to Figma. So then I said, okay, replicate this nice fancy file to Figma. And I said, to this one, Figma Claude demo, And I said, please just use the Figma Claude library, because on my first 2 prompts, and I didn't put the record here, but he was really stubborn, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to use this library that I found. And like, no, bro, I want this one. I don't want the other one. So I put, okay, you need to respect and use this one. And so he's now reading the file. Again, this would be even better if I had the Code Connect all set up, but I don't have it because it's just a demo and you need pro accounts and stuff. As you can see here, he's now searching inside of Figma for a button. So he will look inside of Figma for a button, for cards and stuff like that. So you're gonna see that for a while. So here, navigation field, background color, yada, yada, yada. And it will be quite good because months ago he wouldn't do the connections with the components, so he wouldn't put instance, but now he does, and he put it actually the instance. So it's quite good. It's not broken design, which is a huge impact for us because we don't want to work with detached stuff, right? So it was quite good. So he's now looking for the navigation button and text context heading components. A lot of calling Figma, a lot of skills of using Figma use. This is one of the most used Figma skills on the Figma MCP server, most likely. And at least I really liked in some chats, you can see what he's doing and what he's thinking, because you really learn a lot about how to prompt, because you see what he's reading and what he's actually doing with that interpretation. Sometimes you see like, oh no, but I thought this was like this, so I'm gonna correct like this and that. It's really funny, like he's talking to himself. And eventually I say yes to a bunch of things, of course. And as you can see, there's something going on here, like a huge thing at first, and I'm like, maybe I just have a lot of zooms. I'm just gonna zoom out. And so, but as you can see, so far we have 2 minutes, but let's say that I'm not good at prompting, or, I take like 50 minutes. Here, I think it's where it starts to the dilemma, like how much time I would take to do the screen by myself. Would I take it more than 10 minutes or less? And I think that's a very good criteria for you to understand when to use AI, because if it's just a small thing and you would do it like in less than 2 minutes, maybe you don't need to involve the machines, but maybe it's like a very complex one, has a lot of dashboard and stuff like that. Okay, maybe this is going to take me some time. Maybe it's good to have a basis. Maybe you can spend 5 minutes and ask him and then continue. So here I think it's good to have this sensibility of when to use what and measure time, because time will be your enemy on this one. It's like, oh, I'm going to do this, and you're going to try to make that work for 3 hours, and you will just spend half an hour.
You lost time on that.
You're going to lose a lot of time, and maybe your company be like, oh, yeah, but when the show must go on, so you need to deliver stuff anyway. Maybe you want to share something from your experience on this one?
I will share on the
Yeah,
demo,
will share.
because I will do a live
See?
demo of something.
And then I was almost then like, oh my God, I need this to work, because I was in 91% of my tokens. I'm like, please work until the demo. But it gives you that soft warning, like, you are 90%, please make sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, we keep in mind to not make the extra usage available, otherwise it will be a lot of money. At least with a Claude Pro account, you have like 5 hours, and each 5 hours you have a renovation of tokens. So I have basically one of my favorites now, it's Claude usage, and every time that I do something, I go there and see how many tokens I actually see here.
I was sharing with Raquel that last week it was 10 and 14 in the morning, and I burned my tokens.
Yes.
Burned into the no. Oh, I have to wait 5 hours. Let me shut something. Start thinking about other things. Yeah.
Yeah. So be very. Of course, depends of the AI license that you have. If it's Claude or something else, but have that in mind when planning your day. All right, because it really affects it.
I think
So
on the demo we will reach the limit because I will use to fix things. So let's try.
yeah, I have some extra usage that Claude offered me, so I'm gonna use with you guys today. But let's see. As you can see, sometimes you'll be like, why is it taking so long? Just do the thing. But he's talking about himself, about a bunch of things. So when you're vague, you have this risk, all right? So again, the more specific you are with less words, the best. Because he's having some issues with the list item ID of the cards. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna let you think. Hopefully you are ready for me. But so far we have 5 minutes. And then again, would I would do this screen in 5 minutes? Yeah.
When to add some UX orientation or something at this point, or wouldn't we just use it for a UI, like, because we didn't add any prompts related to the usability, just like build that.
Yeah. So for the people at home, we have someone at the audience that asked like, when do we put the input of the UX in it? Because I just asked it to do like a random screen, and I think there you can have some. Sorry, everything is happening. You can put on the markdowns of the projects, for instance, or attach a markdown like this is my product, I'm doing this, the usability is like that, the flow will be this, and that, my persona like this and this and that. So you would add that information in files attached on the markdowns.
If you remember the skills that you talked about, you can add a UX skill research, for example. So if we have skills specific, you will reach because it's learning with you. It's your markdown file, so you can create a skill for UX, you can create a skill for accessibility, some of these kind of things. And that is the rule that define, you can say, the tone of your voice. How can the Claude can act on the prompts that you ask, for example?
Yeah. So I was 98, so almost there. So I was able to do it. But as you can see, and this for me is a huge thing, he used an instance instead of detached stuff, because I asked him to search for the components of my library and to replace what he found it would be the nearest one. So he's using a button, he's using a pricing card, and he's using a tag. But as you can see, our heading was gray and here is white. And then the cards are actually nicer. So this doesn't guarantee that the results will be similar in that sense. But it's good for you to try it out and see how it goes. So basically, I think now I will pass to.
You can go from Figma to Code again. And
Yes.
To try.
Okay, now it's Nuno.
Yeah, let's see. So what I will do now on the demo, I will try not to burn all my tokens, okay? But I will now try 3 things. I do this this week just to show that I burned all of this, but let's see. First one is Storybook. Do you know Storybook? To put all the documentation, all the things from the dev side. So what we will do is, let's look at Figma design system and create a component on our Storybook and put the documentation. How can we do it easily? And it's possible. And what we are doing here,
No, I think it's working, right? Oh, do you hear us at home? Do you? Is it? But people are not complaining, so. Yes, they're listening to us. Use this one. Can you hear? No, can you hear Nuno? That's the point now. Can you hear Nuno?
And me?
Yes, they're hearing. So go ahead.
So the Storybook is more to how can we build the design system and deliver it directly to the engineers, because there's normally in small teams they say, I don't have time to do the design system, I don't have time to update this one, and we are delivering mostly the base of the elements done. So it's a button, easy. It's not quite as Figma. Okay, the AI as you see, miss a little thing, but the engineer, the developer, don't start from scratch. It's done. You can pick up and then apply. And with this, we can read the variables to tokens and so on.
So, and then what we'll try to do is, oh, let's do a documentation website. Why? We have Supernova, Zero Height, Figma, it's kind of Meatify, you can connect and pay, of course, but why not use AI to do that platform, okay? We can do it because we are reading the same information as we see. We can create a workflow that is, oh, let's build it, let's read on Figma, let's convert it MCP server to code, and we can use, for example, ShotCN, and then frameworks that we've done can get that information, and then we can use the markdown file that we used to update. We can create this flow and this end to automate all of this information. Because if you update a button, okay, ask to Claude Code to say, oh, bring me a markdown of my component. It brings you all that information. Now do the difference on our actual documentation to this the new one. Okay, now we have a change log. Then so it's this kind of automation that we can do. And plugins, if you know, make plugins. Complex plugins is complicated, of course, you will lose a lot of time. But easy ones that on your daily basis can speed up your work, it's easy. You can ask and you say, oh, I can make a plugin just to change things. For example, you can make a plugin if your team are doing the different structural Figma files. In some companies say, I'm a designer do one way, another designer do another way. But okay, let's create a plugin that, oh, let's get the cover, the same cover. You can put the name, you can create the same structure. When they apply, it's the same structure for every project on the company. Okay, and it's easy. 1 second you do it. I will not do one, but I can show you one that do all of these things. So yeah, it's this kind of what I'm showing. Okay, let's switch.
Let's switch.
Let's try to
Let's
switch.
try and test the machines. Even though they'll be tested, but you never know today.
Sorry, can I just add something? Yeah, while you're in between. You said you can have some tool that tells you how many tokens you use per prompt or per test, right?
It was you, right?
Yeah, you can, if you see on Claude Code below the bar, you can customize that information that is shown. Okay, it's on the, I don't know by head, but you can do it. You can do a lot of things. You can do the folder that you are working, the project, the consumption, and more things.
I was wondering if there was a way to know how much energy you use per tool.
That's a very challenging one.
I think they don't have that one. I don't know, but maybe.
Okay.
Maybe that they don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
So
I think Nuno will put the microphone
Yeah.
on the t-shirt.
yeah, better like this one, I think.
Can you hear Nuno well?
Hopefully.
They can.
Yeah.
So,
Hear it personally.
On Figma, we have ShotCN, that is I don't know if you know it, but it's a design system done. Headless one, easy one. I pick up on this one. We will try to do a radio button that is a simple one to do it. But again, let's go to Claude. What we will do, it's a clean one. It's the application, not the terminal, just to see another way to do the things. Okay, it's a white one. We'll have
And now with the new interface.
the new interface. Code, Cowork, and chat. So
This one is not that obvious, to be honest. Here are the chat,
Yeah.
Cowork, and the code that we were mentioning previously.
strange icons, but okay. So let's go with the code and what? Done? Okay.
Yes, yes.
No?
It's all good.
Okay. Let's start again. So the Claude Code console that we are using, okay, and let's be the most simply way to do the things. Just try. Okay, I'm a dummy person. Like the first time I'm doing. I don't like terminal. These kind of things. Let's try to understand. So first of all, we have local HTML, and here it's the one that we are using. So we are putting all our information here. I create a folder here. For example, FFL demo, we'll use, I create 3 folders just to separate all my information that now I know that I use it. For example, the Storybook, I will open and now, okay, you are on Storybook folder. So if you see it, yeah, I'll open more, so just to be the same size, but more information. Maybe not a good idea, because of this one. Okay, so what I will do, okay, let's implement it in the Storybook last version and give me local host. You remember localhost something? So I want to see what it's trying to do it. So easy one, this one is trying to do reading. This will take a little time, but I will explain that it will try to do the last version of Storybook. You will get, I will not giving any information. Where is Storybook? Where is the Git from Storybook? Nothing. It'll burn more tokens, of course. If I give all the path, it's easy. But let's do it the dummy way. I never understand it. Someone asked me for, oh, give me a storybook of your components. Okay, so let's do it. Or not. But so this can happen. Yeah, it's starting. It's blocked for now.
That's normal that the microphone of the MacBook is the only one because we are using Nuno computer now, but this is also the magic of doing something like, oh, let's see something working.
You see all the questions now? Oh,
Yes.
I want to permissions on that folder that you want. Yes. Allow once or
Always alone.
always.
Always alone.
Like in terminal, you see you have 1, 2, or 3. 1 is yes, 3 is no, and 2 is always. Always that kind of information. Let's allow it. Take my money.
Yes.
Again,
I think there is an option so we can.
you can configure on Claude Code too. But I prefer 2. Yeah, but because sometimes he explains what he's doing, and we learn with that information too.
Oh, another. Always alone. Gonna do that.
Ah, yeah. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. When we have routine ones or easy one, imagine the plugin one that you do.
If you are doing something new,
Always alone.
something new.
Yeah.
It's good to have the questions, but if you are
An update of the platform, for example, it's
correct.
done. Yeah, but normally when you do an update, you'll do the same conversation if you want it. So he knows that some things are always done. Good. Yeah. Running research and Storybook listed in the project. So it's ready. You see, I don't give any information because Storybook you can install React, Vue, a link, different language, for example, but we always do with React. So, okay, for me too.
I also didn't explore it, but you also have your like routines and to customize stuff. So, sorry.
Yeah.
Shit. No, okay,
No,
still working.
it's working. For now, it's
Yeah.
working.
You never click on those things. But the routine stuff might seem fun.
So,
Okay.
allow,
Whatever.
lots of
it is,
allow.
lots of-
Stupid. Yeah. Okay, you are.
Oh, he's opening stuff. Oh.
Yeah, it's localhost.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
see
local
it?
host. See it? It's
Let
real.
me separate it here.
Yeah.
And this one. And let's put on the same one.
Ooh.
You see Storybook? Done. Normally you put a button as an example. It's not our button, it's a button. Okay.
Yeah. It's the pre-default of the storybook.
Okay, you are talking about the applets, but what do you use for memory?
Oh, for memory. It's
Let
not
me-
on that machine.
Let me just put the context of people because they're not listening. So someone from the audience asked about, we explained that we can put files for content, but what about the memory itself? So
Yeah. So I don't know if you see some, now it's a trend that we can create a second brain with code, with Claude Code or with Claude. How can we do this? We can connect with nodes, but it's not the same thing. The best way for me to do it is connect with Obsidian. You know, Obsidian, Obsidian is a platform that you can connect some information. And with Obsidian, you create all the connections, all the information that we put on Claude. And one thing is, someone say that you can reduce the tokens by 50%, 75%, because he's reading information that is local on your machine. And the good thing is connect like a brain. I will show some screen just to so you to visualize the thing, so you know it. But maybe some people doesn't know it. So every information that we put, he automatically create categories and automatically create the bridge between the conversations. And when he try to read something, he goes there, oh, you have this information, come here, come here, come here, and combine and deliver it. So this is why less tokens that he'll spend. So he's reading, I'll show you just a little here. If you see it, let's just reconnect here. Entire screen. Yeah. Okay. Done. I'm gonna eat to an image because not this one, of course. Obsidian. I'll put. Yeah. Okay. It's like this. You see it? It's dots that connect all the information inside an application. Every big dot, it's a big subject of big folder with all this information. And with this, we can connect clouds here. So it's easy. You search on the net, connect Claude with Obsidian, and it would. I'm not have this on my machine because it's on my mini Mac, and there it's working. So yeah, you can do it like this one. So it's what I use now because I think I try 1 month and I love it. I keep it. So it's the one that I use. I don't know if you use it too for this one. So yeah. So let's come back. It's reading again.
Maybe you can open what he's doing.
This one. It's a
Yeah.
small tasks. Running install Storybook.
Remotely?
No.
You have
Separated from this machine. Yeah.
each machine.
No. I only work on my mini Mac. This one is to transport the things. So big work, it's on the mini Mac one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, only. And my primary cloud is there connected.
Cool.
Yeah, it's almost, I think, but we can start to show it here because let me delete this one. So what we have here, Storybook with all the information, all of this information here we can combine. For example, now we have only the button with this different information, but we can here, for example, oh, but we have only this. You can say, oh, install a plugin from Storybook to put the Figma file here, and you copy paste the share Figma file, put it here, and you can see your file directly on Storybook, for example. Okay, you can, if you know Storybook, you can add more information, do visual testing, do the chromatic plugin that the Storybook have that is paid, but it can validate your code too, accessibility, this kind of information. So you can do a lot here and deliver, do the handoff to the engineer, to the devs with a lot of information that is not excuse for you to do your kind of work. We are helping to do this kind of things. So let me see if it stopped. Yeah, it stopped. So if you see it, you have all now this information here. What is the next step here? Any question for this one? It's easy one. You see, I'm a dummy guy. Just have to install Storybook. Done. I can show it. I can say, oh, guys, give me a Git for me to put this online, for example, or to share or something. So I can say to the cloud, oh, connect with Git. You see the way. And we will try to connect to Git and say, give me a easy way to connect. That is the way that we are not doing this one, that you'll try to ask for you for a token. And you can say, oh, I don't know to create the token. You say, oh, you go to GitHub, go to this settings, security, you can create a token. Done. So if you don't know, ask. You burn tokens, of course, but you can use some ChatGPT free thing. He'll give you the same answer for this and not burn your token, for example. Okay. So let's see. Oh, what I'm asking now. I have Figma. Figma MCP connection. I'm asking him just to check. I think I have this configured protection for him. Cool. You see the names that Raquel told us. This is detecting the Figma MCP. Oh, I have information for Figma file, Figma no, read, so on, so on. So easy one because we do the installation on all of this. Let's go to Figma file here and let's do for example, a share, copy, and then go, okay, put the component, what are you doing, the radio? Okay. Video on Storybook to all. You'll understand.
He'll
You'll understand. I'm a dummy guy. To do all the comment.
Keep talking to the.
He learns with me.
He learns. You're a caveman.
I'm a caveman for this one. So I don't know if you want to see here or if you want to see
Maybe Storybook, right?
here.
Here.
So you'll appear a button here with all the information. So viewing mode, I have to allow these ones.
Yeah.
Because it's connecting with Figma, it's the first time, so it's doing all the things. Yeah, you can open. Yeah. You see? You don't need a biggie. You will read it.
Just want to see how he thinks.
Yeah. You'll start to creating all the things. It's it. But reading all the things.
No Halloween, that's a good one.
I'm not gonna guy. Just for you to see, we can do the things without we know a lot of the complexity of this one. But again, if the next step that we are doing is create a documentation that we know, oh, I want this, and this. Let me get. For example, I'll do. This is doing all the things. Thank you, Raquel. See the radio, the code. And it's more beautiful than terminal. Yeah?
Yes.
It's me.
But now you can say, oh, but I know how to use a terminal too.
Yeah,
It's
the
not
same
that-
thing, the same
it's
thing.
not that creepy.
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. But what I'm saying is, we'll create the documentation platform, and with this, we'll tell you, oh, I want to use an example like the Atlantic design system, for example. I like that page with this visual. I will do with the ShotCN, is a repository of ShotCN. Let's use it if you wanted to build that platform, and I will do it in Markdown files. Okay, so I'm giving specific things to create that platform, and I'm using React, for example.
It's done.
It's done. So let's see the result. That's again.
Component.
Oh yeah, let's open here. Radio. See it. The documentation. Okay, done. And the examples. All the options here that is for the engineer. The good thing is the property that he put here is the same on the Figma.
Yep.
Again, design and the engineer are synced with the same properties. Okay, so the mismatch doesn't happen here because I'm delivering the same thing inside of the Figma. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe sometimes they can add some information.
Here you can recognize easily like the Boolean true and false on Figma.
Yeah.
He translates here as a property on Storybook, like false,
Yeah,
true or false.
one, and so on. So he's giving all this information, and you can see it here. The connection, the yes and no.
Yeah.
The default now is the same thing, but
Yeah.
separated if you see. Sometimes you do the playground that is for you to play. Sometimes you can ask, okay, create me always with this structure here, add a playground. You create the base to do it. So now it's easy. If you have your design system, if you have the prompt, you ask the same prompt, that is easy. Okay, create me now a select, create me a button, create me whatever you want. Okay, you see it? Now I start to create complex things on the easy way to deliver it to the other side. The other side is a bad thing now. To the dark side that is engineering, okay? So that part is done. You can add more. Questions about this one? It's easy.
I think
You see that is easy, okay? You are using easy things, not complex prompts for now, because I don't want to burn too many tokens, okay? But yeah, so this is done, okay? We can add more informations. Again, let's, for example, just to test you, you see the tabs here? For example, on the docs, on the playground, default one, yeah. Okay, let me add one thing on the components, add a tab to put Figma connection, and on the radio, add this I think it's on the copy. Let me try it. Yeah. Just one thing. I don't know if you all know, but Figma components and variants behind it gives an idea of the things, an idea of the component, an idea of the variant, an old ID for the variant. This is why I'm showing it. And sometimes you to create plugins, you need that ID. For example, the example that I told you to create the structure for the file. Oh, I want a cover, but the cover, you can create a component with variants, and you can say, oh, if it's for a project, you choose variant A. If it's for a component, choose the variant B for the cover, okay? But for he identify the publish component, you need the ID of that component. So you can try to get on several ways, or you can create a plugin to identify these ones too. So you're creating a plugin to help with the plugins.
Yes.
Okay. I will show you how to do that. So yeah. So let's see what is the result of this one. Just not to burning too many tokens, because the next one will burn a lot of tokens. You see, installing Storybook add-ons design. That was the plugins that Storybook have. This one is to inject Figma files. Oh, done. Easy one. It's to restart Storybook. Oh, hello. I have to think if I need. It's really done. It's doing for me. Oh, nice. Maybe here I'm a dummy person.
Yes.
Okay. But the thing is, we in one day, and this is true in one day, and I think it's security to say in 8 hours, we can create a platform and a storybook of documentation to delivery. And in another way, we cannot do it. We designers cannot do it, because I have some knowledge of coding, but not this level. Okay, so yeah, it's lots of connection normal. That it's a great thing, because we try to identify the errors before it launch. So let me check. Allow. Identify something with the version, see it?
Yeah.
So it's correcting all the things. It's good for us, okay? Just just to share one thing that happens yesterday. That happens for me. I'm building a platform with AI to put the documentation of a design system yesterday, and I don't know why, one prompt delete me all my files, all my files. Yes, but I was using Cursor in Code. I think I was burning my tokens, all my tokens, then changed for another one. So in Cursor, we have a good thing that is, go to the last prompt, I go, nothing. Go to the another prompt, I go, nothing. Go to another prompt, I see the files. Do you want to revert? Yes. But I save the prompts, I put the prompts again to run, don't give me the error. But you see, you can do the same things with different ways, and this case was sharing the same folder. I was using Claude, but inside of Cursor, for example. Okay. It's don't show anything. It's running, it's refreshing, I think. Yeah, it's not doing that. Let's stop here so we can verify. So I think he updates the Storybook because of the plugin. Yeah, localhost. Yeah, I think this changed the port. Yeah, it changed the port. You see it? That's it. So radio, it's here. Let's go to the default one. You see the design. So you don't add it. I have to add it here. So if I ask him to add here the design, you'll see it. But of course, my account, if I have login on Figma, I will see the designs here on Figma. So you can add more information here, again, with the Storybook plugins. So again, let's start, let's do another thing. Let me do a new session, And now let's, again, create a folder. It's on desktop, it's on demo, it's on doc. Okay. Now it's the great thing. Let's see the result, because if I ask 1 time, 2 times, it's different one. So I normally try to find the best or create a good prompt to create this one, but let's try it. So let's see let's copy this one. So let's create a doc form for a design system looks like done, and use React and use Markdown, MD or MDX. Let's try here. Not put, and use shot CN. I'll put only this. Oh, no, let me. Shot CN. Let's get here. Okay, it's done. Okay. So again, dummy person here. Okay, and give me local host. Easy.
Maybe you can explain the chat.
The Chatien.
Yes, a bit.
So Chatien is as you can see, Chatien. Yeah, it's here. Not this one. This is view. Sorry. The normal one, not the normal one, but the base one is this one. Okay. Yeah, this one. So it's a library. You could say it is a library for React. Okay. Starts with code, and then they don't have an official design system on Figma. They have some persons that convert all the elements to Figma, and they have that information, documentation. Somewhere.
Yeah.
If you find, they have a Figma something. Maybe here. No, it's integration. Yeah, they have it somewhere. If you ask, have some all the information here. But now they have 3 free options and they have 5 paid. Okay, it's more complex one. But with the free option, you can do it because it's updated until February, I think. So you can use it. With variables, with styles, with all the things that you want. So you can use it because it's headless. You can customize whatever you want and create the theme for your brand. So speed up your process. Okay. Yeah, it's writing. Oh, allow. Lots of allow again because of it's a new folder. I have to allow. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, we'll create. And another thing that we'll do here, just to you to see if that is easy to create some things. But again, normally I say that for I use AI, it's imagine, let's wait 10 minutes on the beginning, do ourselves the needs for the product or the thing that you want to use in AI, go to the AI, work with AI, not AI for me, but work with AI. And then in the end, it's my decisions, okay? Mostly it's my decisions. So it's kind of what we're doing here because we are building the platform and we'll do, for example, just go to your foundations, your iconography, okay? Export your icons to SVG. We'll do that. It's done. It's on the folder. Let's put this on the documentation and say, oh, put me on on foundations, on the on the page of iconography. Okay, no problem. And now, let's create a search for search the icons. Then let's create a button to download in bulk all the information. Then let's create a button to download each of the icons. Then, and in 10 minutes, you have a library of icons that you can see, that you can have the outline, solid, so you can work with this and help the team, the engineers, this kind of information too. And we'll import a component there too, directly from Figma. Okay. So yeah, it's not opening the, no, I have to wait. Okay, let me try to see if it's any information. Building the source files, you working on the CSS.
Oh, it's reading my issue.
Yes.
It's reading my issue. It's the company that I work. It's reading my issue. I'm scared now. But oh, it's reading from Cowork. Oh, good.
And what ones?
Yeah. It's reading the information. Any question for now? Let's see the result. I'll build one if this don't work, okay? Just for you to see the result because we do the same thing. The nav, it's building the nav, config, so on. Good. My CSS is nice.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
You use Claude to generate further documentation.
Yes. Yes, you can use it. Imagine now, again, the workflow with this one, you can say that, oh, we have this platform, you can do the documentation, you can put information on Claude just to deliver it, but with documentation you can do, oh, let's read the components on this and create a documentation for put on the platform, on the documentation platform, and he writes, okay? And you can again change the things, or again, if you don't want to burn too much tokens to create the code, you can say, oh, give me only the information that you, or a summary, or all the information for the documentation. Then we go to implement it, for example. Yeah, it's a lot.
We know people like demos, but this is not. It's probably the excitement that
Yeah.
you sometimes are expecting, but this is the life of
You
using
can grab
AI.
your phone, play some games, and pass the time.
But this is also for people that multitask. Like while he's doing this, you can work on other tasks. So
With the panoramic screen as me, I have several open. And normally, if I'm doing this, I'm doing Storybook in one, documentation in another. Maybe I'm creating a plugin in another. So you can do this one.
Yeah.
And consume more tokens.
Yes. And always be prepared with the always allow.
So, but I can show you the things. Let me get, because we can talk about this have to be local because it's in development. So let's open a Figma file, a new one, for example. Okay, design one. So if you see plugins, development, I have a lot of plugins that are creating for me. So it's in development. So the ones that I was talking is file structure. You see, it's an easy one. It's a plugin. You can choose this. This is the variants that we have inside of the component with the same name. I'm choosing the variant of this one. I think it will pop up the local host.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's see. Oh, it's a project. Nice. What is project? Then enter the description. Then create only the cover or create the structure. And if you see it, done. And you keep consistent in all the designers that are using this one. It's the same. Oh, in the research here, slow visuals, design about project components. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No problem. You have to allow. Later on. So it's the same thing. And if you don't get the cover because I'm a different account.
Yeah.
Let me go again and switch to remember the idea of the component, that important thing, because it's not published on my environment. Let me change here and open a new one. And now just show you the cover plugins and file structure. Okay, let's choose project FLS. Done. See it? It's here. And shows if you click it, it's a sorry. Not showing me the no.
Just see if he has some Gola input.
Yeah. I'm not showing me the it's the component here.
No, but it's there.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah.
So you see it. It's all the things here. And again, the structure, it's here, you can use it, this kind of information. Okay. Just let's take some time to do it. Just to share another thing, plugins that you want to do it. I'm gonna show you the last one. That is a
token and slide export. Okay. You say, oh, why are you creating a one? Because you go to community, exists a lot. Yeah, but exists a lot that don't do the things that I want. So it's a normal thing. And you can choose the normal things, CSS, SAS, JSON. You can connect with GitHub to put done. You can say, oh, remember, fix Figma on variables, you put values. It's pixel, it's rams, whatever you want. So let's convert to rams because someone liked it, the other side, you remember? So the normal one is 16 pixels, the default one. So, oh, but I want to upperfix because I want to give a name of the design system that I'm working. For example, FOF. Okay, but now I don't have variables here. Yeah. Let's done. It's almost, let's uprooting. Yeah, in the it's missing a little bit. So let me create only one. Create only one color. Done. Original one. So let me get variables. This one, this is the name of the file that I want. Single one, I generate. So I don't find anything because I have to open before they create the one. So let's go again. You see, identify here. It's one, it's created, done. Because you can have all the collections here. You can export in single file or each file per collection, for example, if you want it. It's waiting. So
This is also cool.
yeah, it's connected directly and you can export, but you have to do all these ones. So you can do this file name that you want, the styles and the variables in separated, but we want this one. If you generate, you can see it here. Okay, if you put in SAS, you can see it here. If you put in JSON, you can see it here, and you can download this one. Okay, or can copy or sync. It's not connected. If it's connected, appears the green dot, and you see sync, and you put all the information there. So yeah, you can do this with several plugins, but I want to do all my things. So this was created in Claude Code, done. So yeah, lots of things that you can do. If the needs is you have to see your problem, try to plan all the things that you want. You can add more, of course, but the experience that I have is plan on the beginning, because when you start to add more things, sometimes AI don't like them. Yeah. Oh, now it's broken. Oh, fix me this, put in another role, for example. So it's burning tokens. It's on. It's this one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this one. So you see it? Oh, I don't have a home page. I can
Sure,
say, oh,
but I think you have to rest,
but okay.
so.
Normally I don't ask for a home page on the beginning, but you see, it's all the information here. Go there, the code. Getting the code, please.
Oh, sorry.
Code. Yeah. See it? Done. You have all the information here, so you can use it to do. Okay, it creates all this information that we don't have for now. Okay, but now you go, but we don't do anything for us. So yeah.
Only 8 minutes.
Yeah, 8 beautiful minutes.
Yes.
It helped me a lot with this one, but I don't imagine now. I want to create a cover. I'll do it. Normally I'll do a cover. What I do in the cover is it puts, for example, how many components do you have, how many foundations, and I say, oh, that value I don't want to change. Do update automatically according what is on components, what is on foundations, and it's showing automatically that value. If I add one component more, it'll change me. We have the radio here? No. No. Nice.
Yes.
So next step, and it will be fast one, is writing something in.
Oh, it's still doing
Yeah,
something.
it's still doing. So let's try to put the component directly here. Okay. Let's see it doesn't miss. And another thing is, let's test the thing that create the library, the icon library here, for example. You don't have anything for icons? No, we create. No way.
That's one question. We know that sometimes like LLMs have like the chat or write and talk with them. They can sometimes lie or imagine things. Can we get into some first?
No. No. On the code, yes. On the text, you have to read it. So it's
like on your documentation.
Yeah,
Go
what I need here is all the base, the template of the foundation, the template of the component, this kind of information. Now I say, oh, I will be the markdown file to import directly to this one. This will take me more time because I have to structure the markdown. Not, I can ask LLM, structure me a markdown to put on this kind of information, and it will do it. And then I can write again all the right information for the button, put on the markdown, import to here. So, but yeah, you see it. Maybe this I have to ask the engineer to, oh, I need a platform. Oh, do you have the designs? Now I have to design the thing. No, it's for the, put all documentation. Yeah, okay. It's done? It's
no, you
done.
didn't.
No,
No, it's done.
no, it's done. So let's do the fast thing for the icon. So because of the time that we have, let's create the on foundations, the page icons, and import all these. And I have it somewhere here. Not here. Somewhere icons. Yeah, it's here. So you see it? It's, if you see it, it's my outline and my solid. I only put it here. Done. So, and
You replaced.
oh,
Yep.
done. Yep. And create a search. Let's do it like this one. So we don't have that page created here.
No.
Done. And we'll create and do the search. And
Oh, actually have this one, but let's see how it does because you
Oh.
don't have the icons
you
inside.
will create the new one with icons.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
So, and another thing is, I don't think this is working. Yeah, it's not working. And we'll do a small hack here and say, oh, search is not working, put it work. And we'll index all the pages and we will do a smart search there, for example. It's asking.
Yes.
You see, if I was a designer that is starting on this one, and I don't understand a lot of terminal things, so I can do the things. I have to know that it's possible to do only this, because I can create this kind of information that it's a lot, because I don't have the knowledge to do implementation. I don't have the knowledge to, oh, it is a storybook. I don't need to pick up on this one, but yeah, you can create all of this environment and to deliver fast and better.
Skip off the flow and search selection.
Yeah, you can.
Desce o link. Apresentação aberta. Ai, o que é que se passa? O que é que ela faz?
Às vezes não faz. Yeah, isto é nossa.
Okay.
It's broken.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's broken.
Experimenta meter melhor.
Space. Não.
E fez assim.
Não vai não.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think he's listing all the icons in SVG, maybe. Class name, yeah. Yeah,
oh.
it's done.
Oh, okay.
It's listing all the things.
See?
Because we put 154 icons in SVG, it's putting all of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
see?
300, sorry.
Fun.
But you can talk about, you have to change that font.
That one.
Typo. And that will appear here.
Yeah, because we have some
Things to talk.
and we lost some time. Just gonna
And
continue
this and show in
here.
the end the result. Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to be quick.
And keep this one running.
And okay, he's
Right.
okay.
Hmm?
If you don't come out.
Yeah, but he is now thinking. We need to let him think.
There.
No.
Close.
Yeah. I need to close it first. Okay.
Select.
Okay, so just to point it out about the third level of the agents,
Basically, usually now you probably work like this. You ask a prompt, which is one request, and then you have one response. I'm just going to keep it here so people at home can see me. So you have one request, you have one response. It's very manual. So I think everyone has done this. Then you have the agents with basically you have a goal with that agent. It could be in a markdown on scale or something like that, and eventually executes the tasks. And then the goal now, which people really want to do, is have an agentic system, which you have multiple things running automatically, and the tasks can trigger other tasks, and multiple agents have fun, collaborate with each other. And for that, you need to understand a bit of skills. So skills is that we were talking, like Figma skills have it on Figma MCP server when you were installing. And it's basically capabilities that agents uses to perform the work, all right? And that's basically the main difference between the prompt and then the skill. And the markdown is basically, it's like the format of the, you can have skills in markdown format, but you also can also have markdown files to have multiple information inside. So we going to show you a bit of that. So keep in mind that if you see skills with markdown extension is normal, but it's not exactly the same. They can have two different things.
Imagine the platform that we are building to.
You need to go here because of the map.
The platform that we are building to show here, for example, we can do kind of this aging thing, because we can say, oh, Claude, let's execute, sometime we execute this, run this prompt that goes to this file to imagine the button one and create a markdown, and then the markdown connect to this platform and update. So you can run these tasks, for example, create a skin, create a markdown, all of this aging.
And just so you to know, Figma itself has skills. So the ones that we've been using and showing one or two today, but also they have it on the Figma community, which you can go and search for more skills that people deliver on the community. So the ones that you're probably going to see a lot on the terminal or Claude desktop apps is like Figma use, Figma generate design, generate library, audit design system, create new file, implement design. This is like some examples of skills because they are doing a big task, basically, and you can search for more on the Figma community. This is an example on how the skill can look. So it's basically text information, all right? So now the documentation will be the king of all, ruling AI. Just put it here, yeah. So this is just an example. The more you feed the skill, the better. And you think like, oh, but I don't know how to do a skill. You can ask AI to do a skill with you, all right? So you're always in the loop using AI for AI with AI. And then you have the markdowns, which is basically the type of file that I was saying to you, that you can document multiple things. So, oh, this is done, but I'm just gonna finish this one. So for instance, one of the audience previously was asking like, what about the UX part? How does he knows the product when I'm asking to do a screen? How can he know better than just do a random screen? You can have multiple markdowns and each markdown can do whatever you want. So Design.md is now very hyped on LinkedIn because Google proposed it. It's basically a markdown with rules of your design system, like your colors, your principles, your layout stuff, basically all the design decisions intents inside of that markdown, all right? But you can divide in whatever markdowns you want. You can go creative. You can have one dedicated for tokens, one dedicated for components, one dedicated for accessibility, even ones for how people can contribute with you. So you have like a bazillion markdowns. And let's say for the example of you are a designer and you're doing a product, you can create markdowns about your product. Like I'm working on fintech, I built a bunch of dashboard, this is my goal, this is my persona, yada, yada. You can put it on the markdown. So when he generates something, he knows you better. So that's basically.
And if you have two products on the Claude, for example, okay, can create, oh, this markdown is for one product, yes, the other markdown is for another product. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can separate these two.
So maybe before I jump out, this is the very fancy website called getdesign.md, where you have bazillions of design MDs from multiple companies. So you can take a look as an inspiration, like how other do it, basically. And then the agents. Okay, so the main difference is that currently we use agents inside of the platforms that do the things for us. They're pre-made. The goal is for you to do your own agents where you configure it, and it could start whatever you want, like for a schedule, a trigger, an event, whatever you wish. And these are just some inspiration of agents. For instance, this one, I'm really looking forward to try this one. Like whatever is a product or a design system, like create a change log for me. Whatever someone changed something on the code, on the design, you automatically create the release notes for me. This is huge, at least for me.
On the platform, you
Yes.
get the information from the component that was updated,
Yeah,
compare with the one that is on the communication, and you create this.
yeah. Another one, accessibility stuff. I don't want to know if my product is accessible, or I want to know if all of my components are doing stuff. Here you go. You can do it with the machine. A bunch of things that you can use, and basically just use your imagination in a nutshell, basically. Maybe now you can show your stuff before we
Opens the. It's there.
it's there.
So you see it? Done.
Ah,
Beautiful one. So, oh, solid. Oh, outline. Oh, it's search. Done. And I can add the button to SVG, but we don't have time to do all the things. You see it? It's just you to think how kind of information do you want to put and contributing. Okay, it's not okay, but you have here. Okay. So all the things are there, the forms, the creation. And we have time to do the radio. No, I will put it here. So let's create.
well, we are concluding things.
Let's create.
Thank you. Bye.
Just to test this one already. Oh, it's here. It's here. It's do you have more presentation?
Just main conclusions.
Go.
So, main conclusions. You need to know your intent before using AI. This is, I think, one of the most critical stuff for all the things that me and Nuno and other people are consuming. For matter how technical information that we get, you need to know what you're going to do. He needs to understand you. Otherwise, it's not going to, guess what you're doing. Also, another tip that we also give here, measure when it's a good idea to use AI. So don't feel the pressure of using AI for everything that you would spend like 1-2 minutes doing it, okay? And again, AI is only good when it has the right conditions. So you need to have a very clean code, a very clean Figma file. So keep your expectations on, big companies, but everything is not as good as you want. So you need to work on that first. Otherwise, the AI won't do miracles, okay? And the hardest thing to automate is judgment, right? Like you can put everything in there and you think like, like why he does that? I don't like to do it in that way because, it's really hard to automate judgment. And whatever you don't know, anything, you just ask AI in a free account to use it on a pay account and you'll explain it, or even do it for you. You just need to understand the quantity of the tokens that you're using. And keep that in mind that you will fail a lot in this topic, and it's perfectly normal. Don't count on being super expert in 1 week, all right? You need to be more friend with yourself of failing in this matter because it's really a constant loop of learning. And just so to promote upcoming events, we have this 3 at the end of April, and then we have the config party in June. So in case you want to see the config party live with us, you can join us. It's actually here in Musa. So at least for people that hear the way of coming here. And we also have here an event that Nagarro is also organizing in April 21. So feel free to stop by here. And I don't think that we have time for demos because I think we have fun today. So,
Just see the other one, if it's that.
yeah. Maybe finish the one that we were doing. Can you? Because you have a lot of things open.
Yeah, I have a,
I don't know which one I should click.
it's my thing.
Oh, that one's okay. He was missing the that ones. Okay.
Yeah, it's saying,
Okay.
but you can do the,
Yeah. So maybe now, and thank you so much at home. We're really sorry for all the technical troubles. So really thank you for the ones that survived until now. If you have any questions, feel free to pop one or two. And someone here as well would like to ask something. Yeah. Okay, does anybody have a question? We know it's a lot of information and thank you for surviving, but we try to give you basics foundations so then you can understand a bit better. Oh, classic Storybook.
yeah, but I think that is another one.
Oh, that's another one.
Yeah,
It's okay.
to interact this one, but
Oh, you have one question?
yes.
So I actually want to understand what you guys are doing to keep the design system able to live by AI, because I feel that this is the difficulty right now. We are our user agents, but then our design systems are not ready for it. So,
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. So a person here at home, in person, asked what we can do to make our design system more AI friendly. In the nutshell, I believe. It will depend how much flexibility you have, to be quite honest with you, because if you cannot change too much on the code or on the Figma, or you have like a bazillion products using your stuff, let's say that you need to restructure the components because, I don't know, it has a lot of atoms that it could be all in one component, or the way that you name things are not the way that you wanted to do it. That requires migration. So that is a huge effort on big companies. So then you need to think, okay, if I'm doing a migration, I need to validate with multiple managers and engineers of how much this is doable. So maybe try to think as small steps and make an audit, like, okay, what's exactly preventing me for generate stuff with AI? Usually it's because the tokens are quite tricky and complex. The Figma library is not as clean as it should be. Like all the layers are like frame 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing. It's really bad. Keep it all clean all the auto layouts because people get really addicted and sometimes you don't need 5 auto layouts, you just need 1 there. Because AI will read this, it will read all of this. So you need to be really peaky and pixel perfect. So if you clean up at least at that level, that's already huge. If you have the possibility also to review the tokens as well, but again, this is a big breaking change. So it really depends on the flexibility. And also the dream of everyone, if you are able to redo code to be more clean. And usually that's the big pain point, like, no, if it's working, we don't touch it. Especially when you're working with banks and stuff, it's probably older than you, because if it's functioning, they don't change it. So you really need to, pick the battles and the wins, like, oh, this is a small project, I can put it here, so I'm gonna use this as a pilot. But maybe on the documentation, put prompts, guidance for people to have some guidance on how to prompt your things, for instance, or make the documentation cleaner. So then the AI will feed that documentation. So there's multiple levels, but maybe making an audit and then ask and do like a plan with AI, like I have these issues, what I can do with my constraints, like if I can change code or not, if I can change design or not, because you can have bazillion ways of approaching, but hope it helped. Yeah. We have here a question from Maria. Have you tried third-party integrations with Stripe, for example, meaning Stripe UI will look more like the one from the playbook? To be honest, I never tried Stripe. I never had the chance. I'm not sure if you...
No, but if
Yeah.
it's on Git, you can get it.
Yeah. Basically, if it's on Git, you can get it. So I hope that helped, Maria.
It's like we do here. We are getting the ShotCM information. We just get it from Git. Of course, if it's on Git, it's public. We can get. So
Yep.
It's possible.
Cool. So don't give up. And before we finish, really thank you. We are really sorry about the technical issues, but Thank you for surviving, and I hope it was useful and you had fun and you get inspired by things happening live, and you can see like, okay, now I'm going to be the one that says yes, 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 yes. And I'm going to do multitasks and always make sure that I wait for always allow. And I think that's it. Thank you so much.